have another member of Seafair royalty on our team. Our segment producer, Rio Barber, greatest person in the world. She was actually Miss Seafair about 10 years ago in 2013, and she's taking a little walk down memory lane with some other Miss Seafairs, and they're going to tell us all about the scholarship program for women. Take a look. As we reminisce on the past 74 years of Seafair, we have to honor some very important women in the festival's history. You may notice some shiny accessories on our heads. Well, that's because I'm joined with past Seafair royalty, the 1967 Seafair Queen, Linda Russell, Miss Seafair 2009, Jackie Serenas, and Miss Seafair 2017, Axa Molina. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is such a wonderful reunion. So great to see you all after all these years. And so Miss Seafair was previously known as the Seafair Queen, or Queen of the Seas, up until 1972. And I'm sure the festival was very different back then. So Linda, talk to us about, how they selected the Seafair Queen and how that felt for you when you were crowned.
Well, I represented a small community at that time, which was basically standing timber. I had just graduated high school. I had a high school teacher that said, do this. 24 other gals were competing that year. It felt very like everyone was definitely queen material when I walked into the original. But it was a secret group, and you would, over the course of maybe 3 weeks, you went to a variety of functions and chatted with people, and of course there was whispering, like, I wonder if it's that person or that person, but you actually never knew until the actual night of it. And it was done at the intermission for the Lawrence Welk show. So it was in the Coliseum, thousands of people. It felt, like, wow. And they passed a large crown over the entire group of girls that were there, and back and forth, and it landed on me.
Amazing. And the rest is history. And so
the rest is
one
history.
of your duties even included flying in an airplane for the very first time. Tell us about that and some of your favorite memories from your reign.
It was my very first time in an airplane, although my father worked for Boeing for a zillion years. But we went to the Aloha Days in Honolulu, and it was my first trip, and it was just very exciting. And I ended up spending 35 years at Alaska Airlines as a flight attendant after that. So.
It's wonderful. Yes, and so Jackie, you were crowned Miss Seafair in 2009 when you were going to school at Seattle University. So talk to us about how the scholarship program for women helped change your life and really open opportunities for you during that year and beyond.
The scholarship allowed me to have my junior year completely paid for, which was wonderful. And from that, I was able to really focus on not only my studies, but my volunteerism. So as we all know with Miss Seafair, there's a lot of duties that come with that, which I loved and I embraced. But I also really enjoyed being able to do that and continue to be a big sister through Big Brothers Big Sisters, and provide some help by creating or helping to build houses in New Orleans during that time too. So that was all thanks to Seafair. But most importantly, I was able to walk away being a more confident individual, specifically a more confident interviewer, a more confident public speaker. And for that, I am forever grateful to Seafair.
Yes, that is so incredible. Hundreds of appearances throughout that summer. One of the photos you saw there, you actually got to meet Mariners legend Edgar Martinez, who was a Grand Parade Marshal during your year. What was that like, too?
Oh, he is the sweetest individual. He is just as sweet, everyone. But, Seafair, when I think of Seafair, one of the highlights is community and engagement, whether it's the Seattle Chinatown Parade or Bonadori, Pista Sanayon, or the Seafair Torchlight Parade. And I feel like it's a huge piece of Seattle, especially a Seattle summer.
Yes, I absolutely love that. It really, truly does celebrate the diversity of our region. So, Axa, you became Miss Seafair in 2017, and a big part of your duty is, again, speaking at those schools and really inspiring the younger generation to help give back to their communities. You were able to shed light on an organization you were super passionate about back then, and you still continue to do that to this day. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my platform was Wrestle Like a Girl. The purpose of Wrestle Like a Girl is to empower girls and women through the sport of wrestling to become leaders in life. And so what that meant was, like, to be a wrestler, you have to be a confident person. You have to look your opponent in the eye and be able to take them down. You have to be gritty. You need to just be a strong-minded individual. Wrestling made me a huge individual, not just for Miss Seafair, but just outside of and everything.
Love that. And talk to us about maybe one or two of your favorite memories during your reign, even outside of that as well.
There is this time I talking to this young girl. She might have been 7 years old, and she was telling me about how she wasn't confident because people at school were making fun of her because she had a unibrow. And I was like, hey, it's okay. I was like, if you look closely, right here, I was like, I have some hair too. Through Miss Seafair, I was able to gain confidence. You can have these experiences in life that are gonna make you more confident as well. And I actually gave her a little Rest Like a Girl pin too for her, so she can remember me and the moment we had. And that was the best thing, because that's what it means to be Miss Seafair, is to be a role model to individuals and young girls.
And I remember myself even being one of those young girls at the parades, looking up to these beautiful women, to see this message that we're able to help convey and help build that confidence in others for the next generation is just truly incredible. So thank you so much, Linda, Jackie, and Axa. Thank you for walking down memory lane with us. What an amazing part of Seafair and Seattle history.
All right, Rio was showing off a lot of that history there, but we actually have a picture of her during her reign. She is there with the Seafair Commodores. For more than 70 years, they've actually volunteered as Goodwill ambassadors for the festival, and they raise funds for the Seafair Scholarship Program for women. So we want to say thank you to them, and the current Miss Seafair is Savannah Parker.
Savannah Parker. Yeah, Savannah Parker has quickly become one of my favorite people in the entire world. She is an incredible young lady. She goes to DePaul University in Chicago, grew up in Seattle, and because the royalty court is based upon philanthropy, she has done an incredible job in her own community. So props to Savannah Parker, Miss Seafair.
So great.